Okay, so we will be learning about, okay, I'm recording, yeah. We will be learning about linear search today. So it's a very basic thing. Like you go straight away in an array searching for an element, you get it, you give it. So बहुत सिंपल सा है, हम लोग array के थ्रू एक एक करके सारे elements को check करेंगे. अगर element मिल गया तो position print कर देंगे. Or else we will be writing -1. Okay, so what we'll basically do, using Replit for writing my code. It's a browser-based IDE. You can use any IDE for this for the coding purpose. So I'll just start by logging in. Okay. Yeah. So as you could see in Replit, you could easily organize things in the order you want. So I've made folders for like this. So that's all. Now let's create. So what I will do is that I will just select C language. So it will provide me a template for that. So you can put any language here. Yeah. So basically, what I will do is that I will first ask the user the number of elements he wants in the array, because that's what we want for the array first. Okay, so scanf. Uh, enter the number of elements and will write scanf percentage d and percentage, and it's very basic thing. Okay, now we will take the array printf enter array elements. Okay, here also to make things clear, I will just change the line here. Okay, now to take elements in an array. So array means a collection of more than one things of same data type. Okay, so suppose this is the array. This is the 0th position, one first position. We say that we have an array of 5 elements. Suppose the value of n here is 5. So this is the value of n. Here is 5. Okay. Now here you have the second index, here you have the third index, here you have the fourth index. These things are called indexes. The index of the first position is 0, index of the second position is 2, and moreover. Okay, so that's how I differentiate them. Correct. So basically what I will do is that I will just draw it again. Yeah. So traversing means going through each position one by one. First you go for 0, then you go for 1, then you go for 2, go for 3. Using this feature, we will take input in all these positions: the 0th position, first position, second position, or you can say 0th index, first index, second index, third index, and fourth index. For that, we will be needing a loop from the 0th position to the fourth index. Okay, from the 0th index to the fourth index. Okay, so for that, we will be starting with a loop for, and since I will be using variable I here, so zoom it. Yeah. For I is equal to 0, I to 5. So I'm writing I is equal to less than 5 here. Okay, as you could see, I is less than 5. So basically, what does it mean? Then I will stop till I is equal to 4, because just as it becomes 5, this condition will become false and the loop will stop. Okay, so that's basic of loops. Okay, so now what I will do is that so yeah, just type here I plus, then simply what I will do is that the semicolon will not be there. We start the loop. Inside the loop, what we need to do? Inside the loop, we write the code for the action which we want to repeat. We want to repeatedly uh, take input in the position I. As you could see, the I denotes the position, 0th position. Then I will be getting incremented here with I plus plus, then it will go to the first position. So that's how the traversing works. So I will be saying scanf percentage d, because we are taking integer and then we will be taking so we have not created the array yet. So after getting the size, we will be creating the array by saying int, because our array will be of integer type arr, and size will be specifying as n, which we have taken input from the user. Now we will be in percentage, then I will be saying arr of I. Okay, let's see. So what will happen here is that first the input will go to, okay, first the input will be taken at arr of 0, then the loop will end, and then I plus plus will happen, and then the input will be taken at arr of 1, means the second position, first index, then arr of 2, and so on up till arr of 4. Okay, so that's how things will happen. Next, now since we have an array, next thing we need for searching is the element we need to search. So we will ask the user, what number do you want to search? Then I will change the lines. Then user will give me the number. Let's say scanf percentage d and percentage ns. Ns will represent the number to be searched. Just take it ns here. Okay. Now next, again, to search the array in linear search, we traverse through the whole array. We keep on moving forward until and unless we reach the end, or until and unless we get that number which we want to search. So suppose I will take again that 5 element array, 5, 7, 6, 4, and 1. So first we'll start from this. So suppose we want to search 4 here. So 5 is not equal to 4. So then we will move forward. Okay. Then again 7 is not equal to 4. Then we will move forward. So every step I plus plus is happening. Okay. And what's getting repeated in this loop? We are checking. We are always checking if 5 is equal to 4, then if 7 is equal to 4, or 6 is equal to 4. So mark down the process which is repeating inside the loop. Again 6 is not equal to 4, again the loop will end, loop will increment I plus plus. As soon as I get this, I will say I will record the position of this as I plus 1 inside the if statement, because this statement 4 is equal to 4 will give me true value, and I plus 1 will be recorded inside position. Why I plus 1? Because this is uh, the fourth index, but the position is, so this is the third index, but the position here is 4. So user doesn't know things in terms of index. The user who will be asking, you will be executing the program, will be knowing in terms of position. He will not understand this is 0 position. He will understand this is first position. So we are saying I plus 1. So this is the third index, but the position which user will understand, this is the fourth position. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a common, I suppose a common man is running the program. Okay, like that. Otherwise, suppose take a condition where the element is search is not present in the array. Okay, so we'll say suppose 5 is present. Wait, what is not present? 15 is not present. Okay, so 4 is not equal to 15. Again, it will move forward. Okay, and as soon as if I uh, um, if as soon as I finish the array, means it can't move forward from 1. So we can completely say, since we traversed the whole array, but we didn't get in the number we are trying to search, which is 15. So the element is not present. But how will I denote it? For the case where we are finding the element, we are returning the position here. This 4 was found in fourth position. But since we have not found the element, what we will be returning? We will be returning -1. Why -1? Why not 0? Because 0 also represents an index here. 0 represents the first index. So we will not confuse with things. Okay. So first of all, I will just initialize a variable with -1. That will be, that variable will be the variable which I will be storing it for, storing the position, which I will be using for storing the position. Okay. Now we will start traversing again. For traversing, we will be again be needing a loop from the starting position to the end of the array. So here by mistake I wrote 5. So I will say n, because it cannot necessarily be 5. The array size can be equal to n, which can be anything. Okay. So again n. So 5 was just an example. Again I will say I plus plus, and then what I will do is that I will check if the element in the array ARR at position I is equal to ns, then simply I will say, that ARR of I, not ARR of I, we will store in position I plus 1. Okay, simple. Now work is done. Now what I will do is I will come out of the loop and say, and one more thing I will do here is that I will apply break statement, so that the loop doesn't go further. Suppose if I get the array when I is equal to 2, there's no need for I to for the loop to run after that. Okay, so we will reduce the complexity of the program while executing. Okay, next thing is that what we will do after that, we'll check if the value of the position is the same as it was initialized, means it's already -1, because means no change has been made here. If no change has been made here, that means this condition was never true throughout this whole loop. So what will happen, this will suggest that the element was not found. So if I say if position is equal to -1, these all things, as checking part will be out completely outside the loop. The loop is ending at line number 21 22, as you could see. So after that I'm starting the checking condition. If position is equal to -1, we will print element not found. Else we will print element found at, let's say, index. We'll print two things: index percentage d, and okay, let's say position only, because we have already incremented one at position, and let's say percentage d, and I will print pos here. Done. If you want to print the index, store I here, or do position -1 also, or you could store I here and print the position, okay, instead of I plus 1. Now let's run the program. So in the number of elements, I will say 5, and then here I will say array elements 7, 8, 9, 10, and 6. Okay. After that, the element which we want to search is 9. So it's found at position 3. Okay. So that's all. So suppose we check for the case where we can't find the elements, is 5, say 8, 9, 6, 5, 3. Suppose 16 or 15, it's not there. So it should return element not found. So as you could see, the program works flawlessly. Thank you. Okay, so one more thing which I will be doing is writing the pseudo code for this, because that's needed for many things, because in my exams these things come, like pseudo code and algorithm. So most of you might be knowing algorithm, but the format of pseudo code is quite varying across the internet. So I've decided that I will include pseudo code here. So what I will be doing is that I will be just seeing this and writing the pseudocode. So basically, how I write pseudocode is basically like I just say uh, mm, input n. So this denotes the step, uh, this one, like the taking the element. Okay, then what I will do is I will write define numeric represents integer values. So arr n. So this will denote an array of size n, because this thing arr n, this square bracketed format is valid across all programming languages. So you can use this. Okay. And next thing is that we looped through from loop from I is equal to 0 to I is equal to n minus 1. Okay, and then we will write begin. So this, instead of one more thing which I noticed about pseudocode, the format which I follow, is that instead of these curly braces, I write begin and end. Begin for the starting brace and close, and end for the closing bracket. Okay, so say begin and say colon. Then what I will do is that I will write um, input arr of I, and then I will say end. Then again I will loop. Then I will input ns, and then inside at the side I note, or as a comment you can write like number to be searched or something. And then next thing I will do is that, and don't give these semicolons here. Next thing I will do is that again I will loop from I is equal to 0 to I is equal to n minus 1, and then I will say begin. Then here I will write if um, I is equal to, don't use double equal to here, because equal to is kind of programming thing, right? If I is equal to ns, right, like this. Okay, don't use any programming syntax. And then say position is equal to I plus 1, and then end. Okay, don't write about the break statement. And then print element is present in position is equal to POS, like this. Simple. And you can use the double quotes to represent the text tag. And one more thing which you could do is that you can use things like saying define arr, not arr, we are defining it here. So we can define n comma ns, like I and pos here, like this, and this will do. Okay, so that's all about linear search.